iBuyers are in an arms race to buy out every home they can get their hands on. You may not be aware, but in the hottest markets in the country, nearly 20% of all the homes sold in those marketplaces sell to a buyer who never moves into the home. At the same time, the Wall Street Journal just put out an article that says you might just be bidding up against a pension fund. And this has been making major news recently, but it's definitely not breaking news. It's no secret that Opendoor and Zillow have been in an all-out war to buy as many homes as they can. The pandemic slowed them down, brought their numbers way down to record lows, but they're going at it again. Now, at the same time, we're dealing with a marketplace where you have some of the hottest markets in the nation. Home buyers are scrapping it out just to try and get an offer accepted. You've heard stories about institutional investors that are coming in against those home buyers and buying up entire neighborhoods before the homes can even hit the market. And get this, the institutional house flippers are paying over 100% of value to compete with other buyers just to compete to have as much inventory as they can to make an impression on Wall Street. The same day as I'm shooting this, OfferPad, one of the largest iBuyers, just went public. And this is just the beginning. When OfferPad went public, they have now to themselves another $650 million to buy homes. Zillow and Opendoor combined own thousands of homes and combined are seeking more than $3 billion. But if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook right now, stop, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up right now, please, right now. Go do it, do it. And if you're grateful for this content, I definitely appreciate it. But let's get back to it. All of this is against a backdrop of already record soaring prices and record low available housing for people to live in. The last decade, after the market crashed, home builders were very hesitant to even build because they couldn't do it profitably until home prices came back to normal level. Now the National Association of Realtors tells us that we are 5.5 million homes behind, and that's why all the chaos. Buyers are paying as much as $1 million over asking price to win the bidding war. Other home buyers never see the home because they're buying them sight unseen just to win. And one lady had to name her firstborn after the seller to get her offer accepted. But as the lines between traditional home buyer and disrupting buyers are being formed, even the brokerages are getting in on the iBuyer game. Keller Williams, Redfin, Coldwell Banker, the rest of the Reality Group, and other industry behemoths have also launched similar programs. What's also interesting about these iBuyers is they're willing to lose a phenomenal amount of cash in order to beat you as a home buyer out at the bidding table. It's been widely reported over the past year and a half, 2019 and 2020, Zillow and Opendoor were losing as much as $40,000 per house. Even recently, the Zillow CEO has been cited multiple times saying that they're earning a profit, but it's not thanks to their home flipping division. The iBuyer profits just aren't there for them, and it's showing up on the ground in our current marketplaces. Even in some of the hottest markets like ours in Central Florida, Opendoor and Zillow's inventory is piling up. Opendoor, for instance, in our marketplace has double the available supply of the market average. Nearly 65% of Zillow's inventory has been on the market longer than 3 to 4 weeks in a marketplace where you can get 50 to 60 showings in as little as 3 days. And a stack of multiple offers in the first few days is very common here. With that, the price cuts are coming. I saw multiple properties where week after week, the price cuts and the reductions in prices to try and get those homes sold by Opendoor and Zillow amounted to $25,000, $30,000, even $55,000 in price reductions to try and get those homes out the door and sold. All of this makes you scratch your head. How come all of this activity? Well, obviously the iBuying program is relatively new. All these companies want to make sure that they can prove themselves to the market, and they're willing to do it at a cost. And what's incredible is they're out there seeking billions more to continue the test. But let me give you an interesting fact and something you might not have thought of. Zillow, for instance, buys fewer than 3 homes for every 100 they make an offer on. That's right, they only purchase between 2 and 2.5% on average all the offers that they write out to the people. So why do they do it? Well, you have to look at where they're making their profit from. And Zillow makes their profit from data. And when someone asks Zillow to get an offer on their home, the data, knowing who wants to sell, even though they didn't accept Zillow's offer, is incredibly valuable information. What Zillow then does is take that home seller's information, they obviously didn't buy their house, and they sell it to a third party, realtors. And companies that are doing this are making more than $20 million per quarter. And then you as a consumer wonder why, hey, I asked for an offer, now my phone rings off the hook, and I get texts all hours of the day to list my house. And that's not all. Zillow owns adjacent companies like UpNest. UpNest is a company that then takes your information, parses it out to realtors who make you an offer supposedly at a savings, but UpNest then charges the realtor a third of the commission. So walking that back, Zillow may buy your house, they may sell it to an adjacent company. The adjacent company then makes a portion of the commission from the sale of your home in the end. But what's going to get really interesting is what's going to happen in the fall and going into early 2022. You see, the Fed chairman, Jerome Powell, had just announced in the past week that he's planning to taper bond buying. Well, the only thing keeping the interest rates low is the Fed's $40 billion a month that's buying mortgage-backed securities and keeping interest rates at record lows. As the Fed tapering goes into 2022, the interest rates will inevitably rise, lowering the amount of buying power for the average buyer, and then making it harder for them to pay these record high prices in the marketplace. And the past repeats itself. Opendoor, for instance, at the end of 2020 had amassed so much inventory so quickly and were suffering crazy losses, they had to really pause back on the buying. 2021, the market started to speed up again, and now they're in an arms race with Zillow all over again. We'll have to see how this all unfolds, but for now, there's no shortage of cash from Wall Street coming into your local housing market. Recently, the story came out that 1.45 million serious delinquent homeowners are in a forbearance that is likely ending in the next few months ahead. And I've had a lot of people ask me, where do I buy these homes? And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to need a time machine to buy them, because the average foreclosure takes 930 days to foreclose. So the reality is, even if we see a whole bunch of homes go into delinquency, that the bank takes them back, then you are still going to have years behind that of legal process to actually get the home back onto the market for sale. So many folks have been hanging their hat on thinking, you know what? There's a whole bunch of serious delinquent homes. They're going to hit the market and the market's going to crash and I'm going to be in great shape. That's just not the case. And the market that we're going to see 2 to 3 years down the road is going to be very different than it is now, and it won't even matter. In all likelihood, as I reported recently, nearly 90% of these homeowners have at least 10% equity, so even if they are in trouble, they can sell the house and get out, pay the cost of sell, and move on. Zillow reported recently that less than 25% of these homes are going to hit the market anyways. So what difference does it make? All in all, it's less than a few weeks of supply of homes. If there is trouble with those 1.45 million, it's not trouble that will really tank the market. It's a blip, if anything. But if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook right now, stop. Hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up right now, please. Right now. Go do it. Do it. And if you're grateful for this content, I definitely appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube.